Good evening, my viewers. It's another Monday again for the universe and man. Now, because of public demand, I want to talk about the circles that are important and control the human life in the universe. There are several circles, but the most important ones are: 1, the soul circle. The soul circle is a circle that runs 365 days. It begins on 22nd of March and goes all around the year in periodicities of 52 days, until the last period, that is the 7th period of the soul circle, comes just the last day before your birthday. That's when the period 7 ends. Now, this soul circle is the one that controls all the careers of people. You see, we say that there is a calling, that we have a calling in the universe. Your calling is determined in the soul circle. Depending on which day you are born, in which period of the soul circle, then your careers are determined. And it is 52 days, and then it changes again to period 2, 52 days, it changes again to period 3, and so on up to period 7. Persons born in period 2 may not have the same careers as persons born in period 3 or period 4. And we need to know these periods so well, so that when we are determining our own careers or the careers of our family members, the children and so on, we can put them in the right career. So we will detail to you the careers and their periodicities depending on when you were born and when you ask to be given the description. We will always give you that description, either for your child, for your wife, for your husband, or for any other relative that you know. It's important to know which careers we belong to. The next circle is called the yearly life cycle. The yearly life cycle is a cycle that begins on the day when somebody is born. And again, it goes round in 7 periods of 52 days, 52 days, 52 days. Now, you might be confused to think that the yearly cycle is the same as the soul circle. They are two different. The soul circle is constant. It begins on 22nd of March every year. But your yearly cycle begins on the day you are born. If you are born on 1st June, then your yearly cycle begins on 1st June. And it goes round in periods of 52 days, 52 days, 52 days, until it ends on about that 1st May, just a day before your birthday. So that's the difference. While the soul circle is constant, the yearly cycle revolves and depends on who we are talking about. Because people are born at different times of the year, and therefore they have different yearly life cycles. And in the year cycles, that is where we command the activities we do. Anything that you initiate in your life, you will initiate it at some period, at some time in some period of your yearly life cycle. So it could be in the first period of your yearly cycle, it could be in the second period. That is, if you say you start a business, you are starting it in a certain period of your yearly life cycle. If you buy a car, you are buying it in a certain period of your yearly life cycle. And if you start to put up a mansion or a home for living, you will definitely start putting up in a certain period of your yearly life cycle. Now, the importance of the yearly life cycle is to determine whether that period is good for what you want to do. Excuse me. Say you want to put up a very good home on a land that you want to buy. It is the yearly cycle that will determine for you when it is best to buy land, and it is the yearly cycle that will determine for you when it is best to start building on that land. Otherwise, you buy land anyhow at any time. This is when you hear of cases of swindling. You are deceived, you pay your money, and you lose all the money. Somebody is selling you air instead of selling you land. Or, well, you have bought the land in the right period, but when you start building, you go and start building in the wrong period when you should never start building a new home. And later on, when you move in that home, you move in the wrong period when you are not supposed to move in a new location or in a new home. And that's when your problems begin. The problems can begin by a lot of sicknesses or a lot of other unfortunate things happening to you as a result of just contravening the rhythms of nature. Moving into a new home in the wrong period. Buying land in the wrong period. Buying a car in the wrong period. So the life cycle will tell you when and what to do at any period of the year. And God did not leave man to suffer until a whole year is finished. God gave man an opening again that he can do a few of his things on a daily basis. And therefore, I want to bring you to a circle they call the daily cycle. The daily cycle is a cycle that begins midnight of one day and goes round to end at the next midnight. It is also in 7 periods. And these periods are of about 3.5 days. 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours and 3.5 hours. So they range from period 1 to period 2 to period 3 to period 4 up to period 7. And they are also known as A, B, C, D, E, F, G. The period of the day can allow you, even if your right period of the yearly life cycle has not come, but you can have those 3 hours to just do something that you would have waited for maybe 6 months before the right period comes of the yearly life cycle. So God put openings. So on a daily basis, there are also periods you can buy land. There are also periods you can build a home or move into a new home, depending on which day and which hour of that day it is. Some periods are very, very positive. You get there and everything you do there becomes very, very successful. Some periods are very, very unfortunate. You get there and everything you do doesn't succeed. And you start wondering. And you start saying that I have been bewitched. And you start saying, I'm going to look for a pastor to come and pray for me. I keep telling you on this program that no pastor or no prayer man can control the universe. I also keep telling you that no witch doctor or fortune teller can control the universe. The universe is so strong. It is what controls everything because it owns everything that exists. So all you need is to cooperate with the rhythms of nature. And once you cooperate with these rhythms, do your things in the right timing, you will say you are so fortunate in life. So it is important that you know this. And I am not saying that I have been fortunate everywhere. Those people who know me also know that I have been very, very unfortunate in some time of my life. But the reasons have been that I contravened the laws of nature. And one day I'm coming here to tell you the 50 laws of the universe. And they work in harmony with these rhythms that I'm talking about. So it does not matter who you are. If you break any of those laws, then on the law of cause and effect, you must reap what you sow. And that's why also me, in my lifetime, I have had some very unfortunate periods. And this is because I was ignorant or illiterate of the functionings of the laws of nature. Now today that I know them, I try as much as possible to harmonize with them. And some laws or some rhythms can take a long time to materialize, what we call the gestation period. Just like a calf in the womb of the cow will live there for 9 months before it's born. That is the gestation period. Just like a hen will lie on the eggs for 21 days before the eggs are hatched. That is gestation period. So everything in the universe has its gestation period, the period to mature. So if you are coming into metaphysics to think that you will do something today in the morning and get the results in the evening, you are in the wrong place. You cannot contravene the laws of nature. Gravity is there and it will keep you hooked on the earth. There are many other laws, like you must breathe for you to exist. If you don't breathe, now it doesn't matter how holy you may be, you will be gone in the next 1 hour. So it is a question of harmony, the law of harmony. And what do you harmonize with? The rhythms I am giving you. You harmonize with the soul cycle, you harmonize with the yearly cycle, you harmonize with the daily cycle. Once you are harmonizing with those and doing your things when you should do them and not doing them when you should not do them, you live a very, very happy life. Now, there is another cycle, the one I talked about last time. It is called the lunar cycle. The lunar cycle controls all the fluids of the universe. You know, in the universe, there are volumes of waters, the oceans, the lakes, the rivers, and even the rains that come from the skies. All those are fluids of the universe. Other than that, there are other fluids like milk in cows and even in mothers' breasts, like blood in the bodies of the human being. All those are controlled and influenced by the lunar cycle. And the lunar cycle is a cycle of the moon. It starts from the moon when it's young. Sometimes they use the words perigee. And it goes all the way until when it's at what they say apogee. That's a lunar cycle. Its length is 28 days. And it also oscillates in periodicities of 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours positive, 3.5 hours negative. Again, 3.5 hours positive, and 3.5 hours negative, until all the 28 days are gone. This lunar cycle controls all the diseases and the health of the human body. You will find that there are periods of the lunar cycle when it is predominantly negative, when diseases become so serious, and then you start to think that this person will die. These are the periods when a mother goes in the labor ward and she is not able to deliver because the influence of this cycle is so negative that the mother is not able to push the child out. So you find that it calls for a doctor's intervention, and many times operations come. If only you knew that you are transiting your negative period of the lunar cycle, then you would do a little thing they call patience. You'll bear with the pain until when the moon transits 3.5 hours again to positive, and then you find you have all the energy, you are harmonious, and you can push your baby out without any surgical operations. So that is what the lunar cycle controls. Now, after understanding all these cycles, beginning from the soul cycle, careers and so on, then coming to the yearly life cycle, what you can do and what you can't do, when you can do it and when you cannot do it. Then coming to the daily cycle, which also permits you to do a few things in that short period. And finally, coming to the lunar cycle, which controls all the fluids of the earth. It controls the health and the diseases of the human body. You will be a very, very safe person. This knowledge is not taught in the classroom. The normal learning does not teach metaphysics, and therefore you can have your PhD. You are still illiterate in this knowledge. This knowledge here is not taught in any church. You can be the holiest person on earth, but if you haven't undertaken mysticism and metaphysics, you are not going to get this knowledge. You can be a self-proclaimed magician, who people are saying, this is a wonderful magician and so on. But you see, magic doesn't teach this knowledge. You will still be an illiterate. This knowledge is only found in metaphysics, sometimes called mysticism. And it is taught in arcane schools, in esoteric schools. And there are universities all over the world training this knowledge here. Like here in Africa, the universities can be found in Cairo, can be found in Nigeria, and they can also be found in Johannesburg of South Africa. So people who would care to specialize in mysticism and metaphysics, those are the places to go. And there are also many other universities all over the world. Like the university I went to is the Rosicrucian Park on the west coast of the Pacific in San Jose, California. So I'm opening up that this country may be a first world country, not a third world country like we are referred to, that we only think of the physical material things. But you must also know that even the physical that you see like this building here, like any other vehicle running on the road, are all vibrations of a special nature. They are of an immaterial nature. They vibrate, they are only vibrations. But it is our perception that makes us see them as material things, things that we can handle and so on. And yet, even the hand that can handle that thing is vibratory in nature, is all vibratory. So if you understand the esoteric knowledge, then you will understand that everything is spirit. It vibrates. There's nothing material. It's only our perception that makes them materials. So for people who are interested, and I say you must be interested because you have things you are doing on this earth, you get in touch with me and buy the metaphysics book called The Universe and Man. When you get The Universe and Man, in there I give you the direction here and there on all these cycles I'm talking about. And when you want more detailed, that I cannot train you in this kind of small book, then I give you references. And you go and Google it yourself and get the references, all the books, and how to do it. You study and do the job for yourself. And it is important that you always do this by yourself. Reason, God commands. God is the one the religions have a name with. It is nature, the science call him so, and it is the universe. The metaphysicists call him so. All these three are one and the same. So it is God in the religion that says, seek and you will find. Knock and it will be opened for. Ask and you will be given. And so all these three statements are about you, not any. It is you to seek, it is you to knock, it is you to ask. So ask from me, I'll give you a start point, and I'll give you a big direction, even if you are not interested in studying. Get that small booklet, The Universe and Man. In it, you will learn how to conduct your yearly life cycle, your daily cycle. You will know how to deal with the lunar cycle, and you will know how to deal with the soul cycle. And then, if you have heard of astrologers, and there are some people who have tended to dismiss them, let me tell you, first learn metaphysics before you can dismiss anybody. Because the astrological planets, the Venus, the Uranus, the Earth, and what, have a lot of influence on man, just like you will discover. And once you understand this influence, then you are all systems to go. Like the sun gives us something they call nous. Nous is the air element that goes into the body, and the earth elements are called the B elements. So the two, the nous from the sun and the B elements from the earth, meaning the food we eat and the air we breathe, produce great life on this earth. So for more, get in touch with me and get that book, The Universe and Man, without failure. Get your phone and ring me straight away on telephone number 0721 901 429. Let me repeat for you again. Telephone number 0721 901 429. Let us get out of the darkness that we have lived in the name of religions and in the name of magicians, and get to the real thing that controls this universe. Until next Monday, it's bye-bye from Dr. Kundu.